If I spoke to you in my Ukrainian accent, I would sound like this, and here is why it's completely fine. 4 months ago, I didn't speak a word of Norwegian. Last week, a professional teacher evaluated my level as B1. That's the level where you can have a real conversation. No teachers, no courses, and almost zero money spent. I speak 6 languages, and every time I learn a new one, I use the same system. In this video, I'm giving you the whole thing, including why Duolingo is literally designed to keep you bad at languages, and one habit at the end that did more for my Norwegian than everything else combined. Quick reality check. Languages fall into difficulty categories from 1 to 4. Norwegian falls into category 1 for English speakers. That's why 4 months was enough. Arabic? Realistically 1.5 to 2 years. But anything in categories 1 through 3 is doable in under a year with this method. If you want to learn a language fast, there is exactly one rule, and everything else is details. Leave no room in your day where you could be using your target language, but you're using your native one instead. Books, movies, podcasts, your commute, everything changes. I'm learning Norwegian and I have Norwegian coworkers, so every single conversation starts in Norwegian and stays there until I physically cannot continue. Only then do I allow myself to switch to English. Don't have native speaker colleagues? Then you compensate with everything else. Audiobooks on the way to work, movies in the evening, your phone in that language. The language has to surround you, or it stays a hobby forever. That one rule took me from 0 to a real conversation level in 4 months. For free. So that's the principle. Now let's break it down into the actual system, starting with the app that everyone loves to hate. Duolingo is bad on purpose. Duolingo is not bad at teaching you a language, it's bad on purpose. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. It's a business, and its job is to never let you feel finished. Watch what it does. The lesson on days of the week teaches you Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. The rest of the week? 5 or 10 lessons later. Same trick with colors, numbers, kitchen utensils. Every topic gets deliberately split up so that quitting always feels like leaving something unfinished. But here's my hack, because it's genuinely good for one thing. Your very first week. First words, basic sentences, patterns, 0 friction to start. It even gives you a 7-day free trial of the paid version. So take the trial, grind it hard for exactly 7 days, then cancel and move on. You've extracted every drop of value it has. Okay, week 1 is covered, but apps will never teach you one thing that actually decides how far you go, and that is grammar. Luckily, the best grammar teacher I've ever had is free. The best language teacher I've had costs $0 and never gets tired of my questions. Here's the thing about grammar. You can survive without it for a while, and people will understand you, but eventually it becomes the ceiling of your progress and you'll feel it. So here's the thing I do. I try to think in the language that I'm learning. Any sentence from my day. I need to buy some milk, let's wash the car, can you walk the dog please? And the moment I hit the structure I don't understand, I ask ChatGPT or Claude or any other LLM to explain it. These things are genuinely great teachers. They explain you why, they point to your mistakes, they adjust to your level, and they will generate practice exercises for the exact concept you're stuck on. The free versions are more than enough. A private tutor available at 2 a.m. for the price of nothing. Use it. Speaking is the hardest part of a language to practice for free. Hardest, but not impossible. And here are your 3 options. Option 1. You have a friend or a colleague who speaks the language. Congratulations, annoy them relentlessly. That's what they're there for now. Start every conversation in their language and hold on as long as you can. Option 2. If you don't have a friend like that, language exchange communities. You give someone 30 minutes of English practice and they give you 30 minutes of Spanish or Norwegian or whatever. 3. Voice chat with AI like ChatGPT or Claude. It's not a full replacement of a human, and you'll need a basic level first, enough to form simple sentences, but it's available anytime, it never judges you, and it never gets bored of you. No money and no excuses. Pick one and just start talking this week. And while your speaking is warming up, there is something you can do from day 1, even in a language that you supposedly cannot read yet. You can read a book in a language you barely know starting today. I can't read a book in a language I don't speak is an excuse, believe me. Every e-reader has a built-in instant translation. Tap a word, tap a sentence, done. And if you like dead trees like me, here's my setup. A physical book plus Google Translate's camera. Sentence too hard? Photo, read it in English, reread it in the original, underline the new words, keep moving. 2 tips that make this 10 times easier. 1. Pick a book with simple grammar. And 2, this is a big one. Pick a book that you have already read in your own language. When you already know what's happening in the story, your brain fills the gaps from context. Instead of drowning in the dictionary, you feel free. You don't grow into reading. You read your way into growing. Reading feeds you new words constantly. So where do you store those new words without losing them? That's next, and that's actually the only place in this system where I recommend spending money. Here's how to actually make new words stick when you're learning a language, and that's one mistake almost everyone makes. Use a flashcard app, anyone you like. I use Duocards because it generates an image for every word, and pictures glue words into my memory way faster than plain text. It's the one place in this system where I'd pay for the cheap subscription because unlimited words matter. But here's the mistake: hoarding. Filter ruthlessly with one question: am I actually likely to say or hear that word in real life? If a word is both hard and rare, just skip it without guilt. It will come back when you're ready for it. Volume on the useful stuff, zero mercy for the rest. That's how vocabulary grows. Words, grammar, reading, speaking, that all collapses without one final piece. This is the habit that I promised you at the start, and it did more for my Norwegian than everything else combined that almost no one tells you. First, the ground truth. You will never understand native speakers without massive listening practice. More than flashcards, more than grammar, more than anything. So the rule is simple and there is no leeway. From now on, your commute is an audiobook in your target language. Movie night, target language. Every dead minute of audio in your life gets switched. The first weeks are brutal. Your head will feel like it's popping from words you can't catch. Accept it. That's the process working. Week by week, the percentage that you understand creeps up. And suddenly you're catching whole sentences. Now the trick is to listen to something that you know really, really well. Not something new. Something you could almost recite. I love Harry Potter, so I've listened to it in Spanish, English, Norwegian. For Polish, I actually did The Witcher instead. I mean, in Polish you kind of have to. When you already know the story, your brain stops panicking and starts mapping. That's when the language moves in. One last thing before the recap, the thing that beginners worry about too much, and they probably shouldn't. If I spoke to you in my Ukrainian accent, I would sound like this, and here is why it's completely fine. Everyone has an accent, including natives. English alone has so many accents that they are literally a part of the language. Nobody owns the correct one. So from a practical standpoint, your accent is not a problem, and it should never stop you from speaking. But here's one thing: good pronunciation buys you something money can't, and that's confidence. When words come out of your mouth sounding right, you speak more, and speaking more is the whole game. So the fix takes 10 seconds per word. When you learn it, say it out loud a few times, as close to the Google lady as possible. Det sista.
Det sista.
Och kosta.
Och kosta.
That's it. Accent kept, and there's your confidence. So that's the whole system that took me from 0 to B1 in 4 months. 1 week on Duolingo, then out. Grammar from a free AI tutor on demand, speaking through exchanges or voice chats, reading books you already love with instant translation, good filtered flashcards, and above all, flooding your ears with audio you already know by heart. None of it costs money. All it costs is consistency. Pick your language and start today. The 4 months are gonna pass anyway. If this was useful, subscribe, because next time I'm breaking down why English spelling makes no sense. See ya.